Alright guys, welcome back. Lifestyle tip and success secret. Today we're going to talk about the gut microbiome, what it is and why it's crucial to understand the importance. Alright, this is a huge subject, especially for a video. So my goal here is to really just whet your appetite so you get fired up and really want to do some research on your own. When we talk about the gut microbiome, we're actually speaking about the intestine and the flora that it contains, or the bacteria. And in this case, we're going to talk about the two major groups of bacteria. These actually make up about 90% of your gut. So the first group we're going to talk about is the Bacteroidetes, and this is the organic-based, healthy bacteria for our gut. And the second one is called the Pharmaceutes, and this is the bad boy in the relationship. This is the one that we're going to say for this case is fat attractive. So now that we've introduced the concept that there's good bacteria along with the bad bacteria, we can now understand the conversations of antibiotics, for example, or anything else that might be, let's say, targeting the general bacteria of our gut and not necessarily just the bad bacteria being extremely detrimental to our health. So the next time you have that headache or the shoulder pain from playing tennis, maybe think twice before you go and run and grab that Advil, the Panadol, the aspirin, the ibuprofen, understanding that when we take this might mask the pain, but it's also going through our intestine, and it's not really specifically going after only the bad or the good bacteria. It's actually generally going to go into our intestine and affect the entire ecosystem. So while it might temporarily take that pain away, if we are affecting the overall ecosystem, then maybe it's actually more detrimental than helpful. There's also a lot of research right now that suggests our intestine is actually about 80% of our immune system. So when this ecosystem is disrupted, that also means we are disrupting our immune system. So a fantastic example of this was when I was working with a Stuttgart ballet dancer. He was due to get surgery on his ankle in the next few months, and he asked me a simple question. When I am done with my surgery, what can I do in order to get back faster? And my answer almost made him fall over. I told him to focus on his intestine. And he didn't quite get that. And I said, yeah, man, build your gut, rebuild your gut. And he didn't really follow what I was talking about. But if we think about what we want and what he specifically wanted, being a professional dancer as their top 5 in the world, and not only did he want to get back at the average rate of healing, he wanted to try to get back faster. There was all the exercises and physio and praying or whatever you want in the world. But if 80% of your immune system is compromised, how could he even expect to get back at the normal healing rate, nonetheless even faster? So with us understanding that the intestine, the gut microbiome, is actually a relationship of good bacteria and bad bacteria, and possibly 80% of our immune system, it now gives new light into why things such as green teas, coffees, red wines, dark chocolate, and all these other organic substances might be good for us. And in return, why hand sanitizer, for example, gets such a bad name. Because if we are not focusing on the entire ecosystem of our intestine, then we are really throwing our body's ability to maintain its balance out. Last fantastic example I can give you is subject that was brought up by a guy named Dr. Perlmutter, who wrote a fantastic book called Brain Maker. And he really kind of brought the discussion back about obesity in kids. While we see this, we always believe, it's bad parenting, the kid's too sedentary, he's lazy, he's not doing anything right. But when we look at the balance of the gut being so important, we often learn that many of these kids were on antibiotics when they were young, maybe for an ear infection or whatever it may be, which then eliminated all of the bacteria in their gut. Maybe they were born, this is off the subject, but also interesting and important, from a C-section, meaning they got the bacteria from the skin coming out of the stomach and not through the natural birth canal. And then in return, we're on a Western diet, which is very high in preservatives and not so much natural organic foods. And in return, this built a very high level of the Firmicutes and not a good level of the Bacteroidetes. So this was backed up, funny enough, when they went to Africa and they did some tests on the kids that were living in the tribes and realized that they were about 80% good bacteria, 20% bad bacteria, and the average obese kid in the West was just the opposite. So we had always looked at them, basically blaming them, which they do take responsibility. Maybe also at the same time, they were kind of given the short end of the stick, because we all have that friend that can basically eat whatever he wants and not get fat. But those people that eat what they want and don't get fat either A, have just as bad as blood work as everybody else, their genetics just keep them thin but usually still unhealthy looking in the skin, or number two, they are very fit, they are very active, they do have a good balance of the bacteria in their gut. However, this is the one time they chose to eat the pizza, this is the one time they chose to go to McDonald's or do whatever they did or eat whatever they ate. And because their bacteria in their gut is good from the organic substances they're eating, now not organic food, but organic substances, vegetables, fruits, animals, if you're not vegetarian, nuts, seeds, these types of things, they're able to take that processed food, and because their gut is healthy, it doesn't affect them like it would, going back to the obese kid, like him, because the gut bacteria is much healthier. And this is also something we see when people want to lose weight. Once they have lost the weight and they've lived a healthier lifestyle longer, this allows them to cheat and eat those foods without gaining the weight they did before. Now that we know the environment of the gut is so important, it makes a lot of sense to how this would happen. So with all that being said, athlete, mom, dad, kid, it doesn't matter. We know the gut environment ecosystem is crucial. So I really press you to do more research, read about it on your own, and at least the next time you have that headache or that shoulder pain, or you're thinking about using the hand sanitizer, the ibuprofen, or whatever it may be, think twice and understand that not all bacteria is bad bacteria, and if the choice that you are making is affecting the bad bacteria or the overall bacteria, which means you're definitely going after the good stuff too, and that is what we need. So if you guys have any questions, man, write back in the newsletter. Remember, this thing is private, so it's only for the people in the newsletter. I would say share it with your friends, but that's not possible. If you want your friends to watch this, have them sign up for the email, have them sign up for the newsletter, and I'm excited to see you guys next week. So again, ciao, peace.